Welcome to Mexican Ironman.
Good morning and welcome to Loki's Mornings of Mischief. It's Taco Tuesday. It is a Mexican Ironman takeover. The tortillas are in the buffet line. The rabbit chickens are on the grill. And hey, if you want guacamole, you're going to have to go all the way to back because Mexican Ironman is allergic to avocados. Yes. You have a host today that is allergic to avocados and is Mexican. Unbelievably. We have breaking news out on the front line. The culture war has summoned Loki this morning. He is currently fighting the culture war on the front line, protecting Lord of the Rings, protecting all of the things that we care about in Valhalla, fighting Disney on the front lines, grabbing sword and shield, not bending a knee, not taking anything from anybody, and at the front lines protecting us from the Disney shills and others that would otherwise strike down the fandoms that we care about, whether that be Star Trek, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, the list goes on. Okay, well, actually, Loki's internet is out. So, and in reality, while he probably does fight the culture war, today, I am your Taco Tuesday host, and I am joined by another brother of mine, a man who I've known for many years on the radio and on the internet and on the YouTubes, who has now become my brother. I'm joined by the great Tom Connors of Midnight's Edge, Tom Connors of Midnight's Edge After Dark, Tom Connors of Me Radio, Tom Connors of Toxic Femininity, Tom Connors of Global Planetary Broadcasting.
That's a lot of Tom Connors.
Yeah. You can never have enough Tom Connors in the morning on a Tuesday. Yep. Boy, oh boy, am I glad you randomly texted me and told me you were up. I'm like, me and Loki are going back and forth, and then Loki's like, I just had this weird feeling about this morning with Loki. I went to bed kind of early last night. I had some things to do. I got up at 5:30 this morning, did a couple things for work, and I knew that I was going to do the show with him, but I figured there'd be like a little break from work. And then he says, like, I got no internet. I'm like, oh no, you know how I do my oh no,
Oh no!
Yeah. I don't know, Tom. Do you having worked with me, do you feel that should I have the confidence that I can pull this off this morning?
I think you'll be able to pull it off. Even if I wasn't here, I think you would have done just fine. Probably better than I could on my own because I am like a 3-year-old who needs training wheels constantly.
What?
And oh yeah, you know this. Don't even pretend.
What? Dude, you do more live streaming than anywhere on the planet. Like everywhere. You're everywhere, and God bless you for it. God bless you for it. Well, let me say hi to everybody in the chat stream. Let me start saying hi.
We should almost see if Script Doctor's available since we did a Mead takeover here.
Oh my God, it's a great idea. Send them the link. Why not?
I don't know if we'll be able to do a regular Mead tonight because I got to go see Batman. So
yeah, I know. I'm bummed out. Oh my God! Look, it's to start off the block. We got Agent Atwood has become a member on YouTube. Thank you so much. I'm going to say welcome to Project Storytime. Thank you for being here. Awu Stormpupus Cuber, welcome. Always great to see you. Brandon Looney Tunes fan 200. What's up, Doc? Daryl the Derelict. As always, the great wrenches, Chris Persia and Mark the Infinitely Tired are with us this morning. Welcome to Captain Trek. Yo, brother. Captain Trek, who has like 40,000 watch hours and only needs a couple hundred subs to get to monetization. You know, he's got like 11,000 watch hours in the last year.
Wow.
Yeah. And all he does is live stream. And yep. So our goal is in 45 days to try to get him to over that 1,000 hump so he can finally get monetized. After
All he does is live stream. Is that what you said?
Yep. Which is meaning all his channel is pure live streams. Like he doesn't do videos and things like video game
Right.
watch. He's 100% live streaming. He has a great morning show where he does. He actually does evening shows now too, where he has different people on. It's like a good hangout spot to talk about different topics. So yeah, he's only needs I think 200 or 300 more subs, but he's got like 1 billion watch hours. Well, not 1 billion, but 11,000. So, nearsighted Cyclops, hello. How are you, Gun Bunny? Great to see you as always. Let's see, who else do we have here that we're going to say good morning to? And let's see, let's scroll down. Oh, Pat S. Happy Mardi Gras, everybody, he says. Happy Mardi Gras. Indeed. Do you celebrate Mardi Gras in Wisconsin, Tom?
No, it's not a thing here. We do like, it's more of a Czechoslovakian background here. So like in the summer and October, there's a lot of stuff like there's, like Czech festivals. And then of course, Oktoberfest being the big one, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So you won't be like taking off your shirt and running in the streets listening to like sexy time music. No.
Not this weekend, but October can be a lot like Mardi Gras.
Oh.
But it's a lot of beer and boobs. Yeah.
Oh, wait, that sounds like my kind of party.
But the problem is with Wisconsin, halftime you can't. It's I imagine what it's a lot like being a dwarf because you can't tell the difference between which are the men and the women.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you telling me like the rolls of fat blend into they might be boobs? You're just not sure.
Well, that or just the men have just as big of boobs sometimes. And,
yeah.
Or there's hairy women.
No. Ooh.
Stephanie knows what I'm talking about. See,
give me a weird taste in my mouth. Dave Bob, welcome. Gap Stargate, welcome. Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass, welcome to you. Great to have you here. And
why do you think beer's so popular around here?
I don't know. Why is it that popular around here?
Because otherwise, how else would we procreate?
Wait, what? I don't even. How do those things even cut? What do you mean? How else would you procreate?
6 is like Tom just pissed off. No, most of us know.
Good morning, Arwen. Good morning, Mary from the game room. How are you? Boy, this thing moves fast sometimes. Okay, let's see. Andrew Eastman, good morning to you. Your Muslim uncle who's been up all night doing the Tom Connors. Have you been up all night or did you go sleep?
No, I went to bed pretty early last night, actually.
Oh, you did? Because you sound all like refreshed and stuff right now.
Do I? Well, I won't be by tonight when I got to go see Batman. I bet you by the time I get back, I'm going to be like, damn you, Pattinson!
3-hour movie, brother.
Plus welcome, drive time.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for sending me the link to that place. I checked. I tried 2 or 3 different ways to get tickets. The closest place I can get tickets is 3 hours from here, and I can't do that. Yeah, that's
good morning, 6. You were about to say.
Yes, good morning, 6. How are you? And also shout out to Man Squatch. And I think we're gonna start the show. We'll just say hi to everybody. Keely Chow, of course. This guy freaking Keely Chow, he stalks me, Tom.
Well, it's good to have stalkers.
He stalks me, like literally, like stalks me, like everywhere I go. Like he says he'll go on Doomcock's show. Let's roast Doomacore in Mike's honor and stuff. I'm like, you can get me fired everywhere I go. Hi, Stephanie.
The difference between a stalker and a groupie, right?
Well, I'm a stalker. I'm your stalker and your groupie.
Well, a groupie's only a blowjob away from after. No, so. But.
Oh, whoa, wait. Okay, wait. Hold on. How do I? Wait. What are the levels?
I don't know. I'm just picking up.
Whoa, hold on. Everybody in chat, I'm hereby turning in my groupie status. There have been no blowjobs on the couch of Tom Connors while I've been staying with him at Midnight Six. No, at least not that I remember. None that I remember. Anyway, so let's see. What is Andre Newman says, I'm surprised Andre hasn't told Mexican Ironman to grow lefsa on the tortilla ranch. What the hell's a lefsa?
Lefsa, isn't that
what the hell's a lefsa?
I know what it is. It's but I'm trying to think of how to explain it.
Is it like a critter, or is it like a flora, or is it flora or fauna?
They're kind of like tortillas.
Well, tortillas don't actually
It's
grow
like a
from the ground.
flatbread. It's like a German flatbread or something like that.
Okay, they're Norway tortillas. Oh, okay. Oh my god.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So they're Norwegian. All right. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes some sense now. At some level, that makes some sense.
So it's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. What are we supposed to be talking about here? Oh, look, it's Echo Base Network.
Echo Base Network. I am very sorry that I have missed all of the birthday festivities. I wish I could be a full-time YouTuber to have that kind of time. Love you very much, very much. Happy birthday from Coach.
Yeah, I sent them guys the link yesterday. They weren't able
I
to
wish
make
I
it
could be a
though.
full-time YouTuber.
They
Yeah.
sent
Well,
their love though,
oh, thank you. I love you guys.
and
I
their
love
bodily
Coach.
fluids.
Oh, wait, what?
I
Wait,
don't
you
know.
told when you sent me that bottle, you told me it was like a special tequila blend, bro.
Yeah, it was special. All right.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I better get a new mouthwash. Psychodorf.
It
Here.
said baby making tequila on it. I guess you thought of. Never mind.
Oh
It was tequila rose. Pure tequila rose. That's all it was, Mike. Promise.
And a $2 super chat to start off the morning from Psychodorf 9. That's how we say his name here, Tom. You want to try it with me?
Psychodorf 9.
Ooh, that was really good. Uh-oh. Okay, we have a new co-host for Taco Tuesdays. I'm out. Bye. He says, "Hey, Mexican Iron Man, I don't judge." Oh my God, that would be hilarious. Like if all of a sudden I said, "Uh-oh, what do they call it? INS, Immigration Naturalization Service, Border Control. What do they call it these days? They keep changing the name. Is it
La
INS now,
migra? I don't know.
or is it what's that task force? ICE?
Ice.
Yeah." I'm like,
Yes.
"Oh my God, ICE is knocking at my door." Tom, you're
Oh crap.
kidding.
I don't know if a psychodwarf would sound like that though. A psychodwarf, I think, would sound more like this. Like, I'm gonna eat your face.
Ooh, that's funny.
Your
Well, Tom.
eyeballs look yummy.
Well, Tom, I have exciting news.
Do you? Are you
Yes.
pregnant?
No. What? No. Here's what I think we should do. I think we should do Okay, I see how excited you are about Star Wars in general lately.
Oh, just excited as fuck.
Dude, are you not exhausted and tired of talking about Star Wars or what?
I this is it's the equivalent of somebody who keeps asking you how your ex-girlfriend is and they don't realize you broke up.
That's exactly it, huh?
It feels just like that. It's like it's that awkward, kind of thing. Oh, hey, NB Geeks. Things are just fine to me. Thank you.
Well, they kind of went downhill when we brought that Mexican guy in.
No, he's lying.
I think things are going great over at Mead right now.
Yeah, we got tamales and everything.
Yeah. So getting back to Star Wars. So I kind of told Loki that I want to move on to Lord of the Rings or something else because I'm just in this. I think it's my fault, Tom. I think what I did is, how I'm. What did you call me? You say I'm a kind of a tequila bottle half. Wait, what did you say?
Half full kind of guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Instead of half empty. Yeah.
So I'd watch. I think I was even giving you shit on meat. I was even saying, watch the Boba Fett, and I'm watching it, and it's getting good, and see, I dragged myself to watch it in the beginning,
Mhm.
and I went ahead and finished it, and just am so pissed off that I let myself go into I feel like I let myself get dropped off from a building again. Like, how would you describe your relationship with? I think. Wait. You did this once before. Hold on. Someone asked you this. Like you described your relationship with Star Wars like a girlfriend experience, right? Do that again.
Well, I actually did a video a while back. I mean, I
Oh,
think I took it down since then, but basically, yeah, the whole thing was like it was right after The Last Jedi. I basically compared the original Star Wars was like that great, high school romance. The prequels was you thinking you were getting back together again, and it just didn't. It was great, but it just, you went your separate ways afterwards, and you thought it was over. And then the sequel trilogy happened, so it's like, oh my god, we're getting back together again, and you think it's going to be better than it ever was before. And then it turns out that you realize that all the bad things and things that you could never have dreamed of, right, went wrong. So it was like this final divorce. And again, that's where it kind of has come to with Star Wars. Like, I know Brightest Dave was joking about Star Wars fatigue, but it has come to that point where it literally does feel like when people bring it up anymore, it's just like that ex-girlfriend you just don't want to fucking talk about anymore. But nobody is aware of the fact that you guys are not together anymore and you're probably never going to get back. You know what I mean? Like, just that one where, like, you know, when everybody finds out, they're like, oh, you guys were such a cute couple. It's like, yeah, but you don't realize she's a fucking psycho. She drinks blue milk and tries to kill her nephew.
Yeah. Yeah. Six says nothing makes her happier than hearing Tom Connors talk
I
about
know she
Star
doesn't
Wars.
like it because I've just totally become apathetic, I guess is the word.
Brightest Day says it's like watching your ex after she starts to take meth.
Yeah. You're right, Brightest Day. You're right. It's like by the time you get to The Last Jedi, it's like you're a couple weeks into the relationship and you're like, oh shit, this bitch is addicted to meth. And she's got a fucking problem where she's stealing and hawking all my shit. You know, she tried to kill her nephew. I mean, what the fuck?
She took your fancy Rolex watch.
Yeah, I didn't even have one.
Arwen Evelyn says the sequels where relationships crash and burn.
It was, you know, and then, you know, The Mandalorian almost felt kind of like you met her cute cousin or something like that, I guess. I don't fucking know. I mean, like,
that's a good one. The Mandalorian's like her cousin came to the barbecue and you're like, oh, you look kind of hot.
And then you're like, oh shit, she's probably just like her
right.
Her cousin.
You're right. And then you see her sister and the Mandalorian and Boba Fett show they merge. So then you see your cousin, or the sister hangs out with the girl, your ex, and you're like, wait, I think they're both crazy.
Dave Bob, you're probably right. Apoplectic, is that the word I'm looking for? I'm not good with words, believe it or not.
What are you talking about? You're a broadcaster.
I know, believe it or not, I'm not. I'm like Anchorman. You put copy in front of me and I'll read it.
Project Storytime says that's the best analogy on Star Wars I've heard in a long time, Tom. That perfectly sums up my feelings. Total apathy, and no one can accept that.
Boba's the ugly twin. Says Arwen.
Hold on. Boba, the ugly twin. Oh, so you know what? You know what it was? No, Boba Fett looked smoking hot. Okay, here's what happened. Boba Fett at the party, the lights were dark, and we were having a good time. We're still riding
too many tequilas.
Right, the Mandalorian season had ended. We had seen our Luke Skywalker. We haven't had any Star Wars. It's like things are great. It's like 3 a.m. We're like, oh, this is gonna be hot. And then what happens? You wake up the next morning, no makeup. You find out she's got no hair. She's bald. Which actually, I've seen some chicks without hair that are kind of hot. But in this case, she's bald. And she has a Sharpie from her purse because she has to Sharpie her eyebrows back on because she doesn't even have eyebrows. What do you think about that?
You're lucky she was in the right light.
And we've got a $2 super chat from Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass. Take your gate of boy. It's a dollar bill. Oh, do you know what that refers to?
Skull.
It refers to a skull. We've actually got 2 skulls to give out. Let me find the dollar bill. Where is
it? You're behind. You're mucking up.
Can you hear me now?
No, I meant you're behind on doing the skulls. You didn't do them before.
Yeah. Okay. So I owe these people 2 skulls. So we'll do this one first.
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
And the next one's going to be for Psycho Dwarf 9. God, the audio is so good. Oh my God, he sent another one in. 30 days before the divorce. This is for $5. Thank you, Psycho Dwarf 9, for your second super chat of the morning. 30 days before the divorce gets signed, they desperately try to get you back. Equals Mandalorian. What do you think about that, Tom? Is Tom there?
30 days before the divorce. Maybe the thing is, Mandalorian wasn't like a full-on how do I put this? It was kind of like, it was just kind of like a fling.
A fling?
Yeah, it was more like a fling. Like I said with her cousin, because it's not quite Star Wars. It's still Star Wars ish. It's in the same family, but it just, to me, it just didn't quite capture, that essence. Because regardless of, and this is going to make Six happy, regardless of how much I dump on the prequels, they still at least feel like Star Wars.
That's true. And I didn't know that you didn't like them. But for
I mean,
second more,
I don't dislike them. I've come to like them much more over the years.
right.
But when they came out, it was a punch to the gut, like as a fan. And then the second one really, really bothered me. And the third one kind of redeemed things, but I still have issues with it. But again, it's a totally different scenario, right? You're talking the guy who created it compared to people who have no sense of what Star Wars is about, as Marshall Lucas said, right?
Right. Right. Well, for Second Dwarf 9, we have a special skull for you that fits the topic of the current morning. Here we go. I love that one. I love that one. Yeah. So, and then to listen to you and the girls talk about the Star Wars Galactic Hotel last night, that was hilarious.
I didn't have to add much to that one. It says Agent Atwood says you owe him one. He's a $5 member.
Agent Atwood needs a skull. I'm a $5 member. Oh, that's right. He just joined. Okay, so let's go ahead and get him one. Ooh, let's get him something good. Let's get him something amazing. I know for Agent Atwood. Here we go. Try this one, Agent Atwood. You keep the fires burning, and thank you for supporting Valhalla. Watch this one.
Burn it all down.
That is exactly it. And speaking of responsibility for burning it all down, I was one of the first people that disagreed publicly with a mutual friend of ours who shall go unnameless that Robert Rodriguez would not be saving Star Wars. Uh, and yeah,
I
yeah,
heard a funny rumor about that.
you did. What did you hear?
I heard he did a lot. I mean, he wanted to do Star Wars, of course, like who wouldn't?
Right.
But I heard the reason that he did Boba Fett was because he got promised another project.
Alita.
Yeah.
Alita. So he actually alluded to it in an interview that he did. He didn't say it explicitly, but he alluded to it pretty strongly. That the idea was that, hey, if I go and hook up these boys, or if I go do this work, let's start with this way. Let me say it this
Yeah.
way before I add my Mexican spin. I'm gonna go do Star Wars, and Disney's gonna see my work, and they're gonna let me get Alita 2 done because Disney controls Alita because they bought Fox, and Fox controls Alita.
Well, I think it has a little to do with Favreau, and I think that might have something to do with the whole him being like a creative director thing, because that would be something he would have control over, possibly. And I think that Disney would do it to not just appease him, but make Cameron happy on the side too.
Really? Why is that?
Well, they're doing the Avatar thing, and Cameron produced.
And Cameron loves Robert Rodriguez.
That's what I'm saying. He produced, and it was kind of one of his. He really boasted about it and stuff. He really, yeah, I'm sure he wasn't too happy it didn't do as well as they were hoping it would do. But I think it found a bit of an audience on video.
Oh my God, I'm a hardcore Alita fan.
It's kind of the closest thing I could say we've had in the last decade or so, where it's been a true cult. You know, one of those movies that found, like, outside of maybe that Tom Cruise one, The Day After Tomorrow, or whatever the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like the only two movies I can think of that have kind of created this little cult following. Because we used to have that all the time. You know, now it's just not really a thing anymore. And I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. Maybe if that was the reason he did it, hey, more power to him.
Yeah, but when I don't know. I've always found that when someone does something for an ulterior motive or an ulterior reason, the thing that they're doing for that reason will never be great and never be awesome.
I don't think it was
Whatever
going to
that.
be great anyway. That's the thing is like I think that Mandalorian Boba Fett was always going to be what it was no matter what. I mean, you got to look at it this way. Robert was basically work for hire.
Yeah.
I truly think they threw that at him because he did such a great job with that with what minimally he had to work with on that one episode of Mandalorian. That they're like, this guy can do that with an entire season, right? And especially after the whole, situation we're in now and stuff like that and everything like that, Robert Rodriguez is the kind of guy who can work with very little.
Well, that's kind of the problem, isn't it? As we saw with what he did with. Well, you never saw the episodes, right? I don't think you watched it.
I didn't finish it, but I've seen clips and stuff.
Yeah, well, you can tell by the clips he's just not the right guy for the job. If he is going to do Alita, I think Brightest Day makes an excellent point that they need to do it before the actress ages out.
Yeah, isn't she completely CGI anyway? Basically,
She is completely CGI, but yeah, I guess you're right. She is completely CGI.
I mean, really, if you gave Robert Rodriguez free reign to do what he wanted in the Star Wars universe, I think it'd be closer to Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
A little bit more, like that earlier part of the show where he was a bit more, basically that first episode of Mandalorian where he comes in and kicks ass. Like, I'm sure that's what Rodriguez would do. Basically, Desperado in Star Wars land.
Well, that would have been great. I think we would have loved it. That would have been great.
Then that should be what Boba Fett kind of is, in a way. I mean, not a mariachi, but I mean, you replace that part with the, bounty hunter aspect.
So here's a topic to debate for everybody in the chat, and I'm going to kick it off by asking Tom a question after I read this from Punkwaddle, who says, Baby Yoda is the cash cow, and it's easy to use a puppet that doesn't even talk to keep the mystery and merchandise alive. So my question to you, and at the same time I'll ask the chat, is put a 1 if Baby Yoda is awesome, put a 0 if Baby Yoda is the downfall of Star Wars. So I'm going to ask you, Tom, do you think Baby Yoda is like, some people think that Baby Yoda is like a Disney princess of Star Wars, and that's that's kind of sensitizing it the wrong way into like cute and cutesy and not Star Warsy.
I don't think he's the downfall. I think he's close to what something George would have done.
Okay.
Because that actually, it honestly feels like something George would have done. Because, and especially with the mystery of him all. Like, it really feels like, okay, because Yoda was a character that he really kind of molded throughout, because he was one idea in Empire, and then he kind of became a little bit different idea in the prequels. And, we all have our he's like this mystic kind of character. And to have like just this, immaculate baby pop up kind of makes sense. And as far as this show goes, it was a nice thing to hang on to the first couple episodes. But I think Favreau was headed in the right direction by taking him out of the equation for a while. And then when Carano was, ousted, or however you want to put it, it was clear with Boba Fett that those 2 episodes were just tacked on because they needed to get Baby Yoda back on the show. I don't know if it was a mandate from somebody or what happened, but that I think Andre was 100% right when he said that basically those 2 episodes of Mando we got in Boba Fett probably would have been what the end of season 3 of Mando would have been. Him going back to get Grogu. Because I think they would have had the whole thing play out something differently, setting up all that other stuff going on, and then that. But now they're stuck in a position where they had to completely revamp everything, I believe. This is just my speculation. As far as Baby Yoda being a cash cow, it worked for a while. They got to do something new with him. Because otherwise, look, like my prime example for this Baby Yoda thing is look at what they did with Groot. Right?
Right. That's an excellent point. Okay. Oh, real quickly, let me just grab this real quick from Floral from Under a Rock. For a $2 chap says, Snow Dub is a prison puppet. What would a prison puppet be like?
You don't know what a prison puppet is?
No, I don't. But here, this is a scold for you. Thank you, Floral.
Why is he trying to start a fight with Snow Dub?
A doll? I've never seen a doll. Nobody's got a doll. Let us see the doll. There it is! It's beautiful! Take your hat off, boy, that's a dollar bill!
Is he
I don't
trying to
know what-
start a YouTube battle with Snowdub or what?
I don't know. I love Floral. I love his channel. He's a little esoteric in his comedy. He's hilarious. But yeah, I have no idea what
It
is
was
a prison
jail,
puppet?
not prison, says Snow.
Wait, what? I still don't. Okay, well, I don't know what a jail puppet is, and I don't know what a prison puppet does. What is you go and you
I'm
do
not
shows?
getting involved in this.
You do shows and you do like, oh, hello, I'm a prison puppet or something.
Not getting involved.
Okay. I feel like it's one of those moments where I'm asking a question I'm not supposed to ask. Daryl the Derelict with a $5 super chat keeps the fires burning in the morning at Valhalla, keeping the heat on and the air conditioning going in the summer. And he says, here's for some things that make life better: tacos, tequila, and titties. I feel about Hollywood the way Az feels about the old lady. Skull. Okay. So I think this is the one that Daryl the Derelict wants. You're going to love this one. I don't know if you see this one yet, Tom. Watch this.
Maybe not. God, I want to punch an old woman in the face. Yes. Oh yeah, I've seen that one. 6 wants to know what the difference between jail and prison is. Well, the basics is jail is when you just get arrested and you go into like the jail. Prison's when you actually get convicted and you actually sit for years.
Oh my God! Look, ladies and gentlemen, we got another VIP guest. Besides the great Tom Connors, the man of international, intergalactic, interplanetary knowledge of all things related to Hollywood and scripts, the Script Doctor.
Hey.
Good morning, everybody. Tom,
Hold
I
on.
didn't think I'd ever see you this early.
It's a true Mead takeover of Loki's channel now.
The crowd goes wild. The fans in the stadium go wild. That was your intro script. How do you like that?
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And yeah, no, I think the asterisk needs to go to I'm awake and I'm not still awake. I actually slept.
We actually have a member chat from D. Krantz, who's been a member for 6 months at the Warriors of Asgard level. Speaking for myself, Baby Yoda is all that saves Disney Star Wars. Personally, I'm going to sit a Baby Yoda on top of some tannerite instead of pinata. Oh, okay. Okay.
I know Script Doctor's not a big fan of The Mandalorian either, so
Well,
The potential's there. It's just, yeah.
the script could. What did you see all the episodes of Boba Fett?
Yes, I have.
Okay, you knowing you the way I know you, and you must have been losing your mind at the decisions storytelling that they were making, right?
I was very perplexed. Yes, very perplexed. I was not like for some of the character cameos. I was not surprised with the takes of those characters because they're still unrecognizable from the movie. But yeah, it was just it just left me very perplexed. It seemed like they were in panic mode and they were just throwing out whatever they could to meet their scheduled days, and didn't have the connective tissue needed there, and they missed the best opportunity they could have ever done for Star Wars, especially in film and live action, which is a detailed exploration of spice, how damaging it is, but also how valuable it could be, and why it's a controversial thing and why it's damaging this part of Tatooine, which we don't see any indication that Tatooine's doing terrible at all in this world. And yet we're told it, and it just doesn't hit.
well, not only that, it's just Tatooine has become way too significant to the Star Wars universe, and it's getting harder and harder to believe that would be a good place to hide Luke Skywalker, considering how central it seems to be to everything lately.
Well, yeah, it's in 5 of the 6 original films, right?
Yeah. And it's becoming like this thing where it's constantly going back to Tatooine. There got to be other desert planets and other places we can go. And again, it was hard enough for me to believe, and I know it was just because of the way that Lucas wrote the series. He probably wouldn't have done it this way otherwise. But why would you even have Luke hang on to the name Skywalker in the first place? But I can at least believe it if Tatooine is supposed to be this very remote part of the galaxy that the Hutts control, so the Empire doesn't really mess with, and nobody who is anybody important goes to. It's basically the place where people go to when they want to be forgotten, right? Like that's kind of the whole way it
To
was
a
set up
point,
initially. Yeah,
but the whole idea that Luke Skywalker maintains his name and his his father's this Jedi that is technically legend with only within the Jedi just proves that the galaxy is so big because galaxies are big and that there's trillions of life forms and societies throughout the galaxy
right.
that yeah, not everyone's going to know the name Skywalker. I mean, when you have something like an empire that has conquered the galaxy and essentially has it under rule, you can understand the fact people know, oh, that's the Emperor, and he's got this agent of Darth Vader who the majority of the galaxy has never seen face to face and only have heard stories of. It becomes myth and legend and not reality. And so long as things are kind of status quo within your own little pocket of your world, you're never going to pay attention to that on the outside, which is why I always say that it doesn't matter that Luke Skywalker blew up the Death Star. The majority of the galaxy technically wouldn't even really know who he is. And if you don't believe me, just take a look at what's happening in the world right now. I won't mention the details, but there's a lot of misinformation going on out there, and it's conflating the facts, and you don't really know what's going on. And I'm like, case in point, it's you're not going to know what's really happening with regards to a war or rebels because there's so many things in place that want to put up their own narrative and put up their own story, and that is actually to the advantage of characters like Luke Skywalker and the rebels because they're able to have a little bit of anonymity and privacy as a result of that.
I'm glad you're
And
here, Script, and you brought this up a little bit because I don't know, you got a super chat to get here too, Mike, but I think you might know about this. Funnily enough, you bring up like the hierarchy of who's who in the Empire. There was a whole shit ton of stuff cut out of Return of the Jedi and Empire that kind of put Vader in a place where you wouldn't like, because we're kind of left to believe he's like the second in command when he really isn't.
No, he's not.
Because
no,
there's a whole thing between him and was it a Piet or whatever in Return of the Jedi that's deleted. Because like
Um,
technically he's
there's
like,
General Piet, and then there's the head of the construction of the second
yeah,
Death Star. There's a
yep.
whole like military wing of the Empire that is kind of like because again, Vader is the apprentice of the Emperor, and he kind of works with the Emperor, but there's a power pocket in between
exactly, yeah.
the
Like
Emperor
that's
and the
where what's
galaxy.
his
Now that the
face?
Senate's gone, like it's a very complicated
He's like the hired
system.
Mexican on the side.
Well, he's like a private mercenary, and then you just go into
Yeah.
like the first one of the lines that Grand Moff Tarkin says to Vader in the first Star Wars, which is with regards to the Jedi. Tarkin refers to Vader as a Jedi. He says, "You are all that's left of their religion." I mean, that's pretty important. It's basically showing a distinction that the Vader is not really quite one of them, but works for them in some capacity or has some sort of loyalty to an emperor who, not until the Empire Strikes Back do you realize, oh, the Emperor is also knowledgeable in the ways of the Force.
Because there's this great deleted scene. I don't know if I've ever seen the actual scene itself or I've just seen it in comic book form or what, but I feel like I've seen it before where Vader comes up and he wants to talk to the Emperor and Piet's like, no visitors. And then he starts choking him and he's like, Emperor's commands. And he lets him go and he's like, fine, I will wait. Like, can't remember. I
Yeah.
swear I've seen that.
Oh,
Real
I've
quick,
never seen that. I gotta search that out.
real quick for $1.99 brightest day, mead with my tacos midnight sage after dark. That is, he says, I'll allow it, and this is for you, brightest day.
Yeah, it was cool scene though. It's like because like it has to do with like those two going back and forth, and I think it's alluded to that he's technically his superior, but he keeps choking him and fucking with him. But like I don't remember why it got cut out, but it is.
It's a
He's like,
position. It's
yeah,
well, I think of it this way: the relationship between Tarkin and Vader is that Vader has respect for Tarkin, and Tarkin has a position of great importance. But Vader basically knows, yeah, nobody's really going to be more powerful than him because of his knowledge of the Force. But he'll he'll roll with the narrative because it serves whatever purpose he has personally.
Yeah,
And
it's kind of alluding that
Ma-
he is
Man,
on his way to becoming the new Grand Moff or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, you were saying, Mike.
and
Sorry.
Matt Squatch makes a comment, says, Tom, in episode 4, Luke said, if there's a bright center to the universe, you're on the planet it's furthest from, and yet everything fucking happens on it.
Exactly my problem with it. Yes.
Yeah, I know. Listen, Tatooine is an interesting planet, but you're kind of oversaturating the audience with its stories right now.
And the only reason it was unique was A, because that's where Luke came from, and then B, that's where Jabba the Hutt is, and he has control. And it's kind of a unique, cool,
I want to see a story on the Hutt's home planet,
right.
on
Like,
Hutta.
well, yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff, like what it would be like. I'd imagine it's probably gross, though.
Well, it's kind of swampy, in my understanding, but it's also been refined. And there's other things like I want to see a planet that kind of looks kind of not exactly like Earth, but it has like towns and different scopes and environments, and it's maybe sort of an inner or mid rim world that it's just doing its own thing, but very Star Wars-y. I want to see something different, but echoing a little bit of like other species and societies besides desert planet, ice planet, water planet.
Well, we even got something different in the animated segment of the Christmas special. Remember when we met Boba Fett?
On Ord Mantell, yeah.
Yeah, and that was really cool looking and different and unique. I mean, that's the thing is, I mean, and Lucas took advantage of the fact that that was animated, and I think that's one of the reasons why he still likes that bit that much is because he probably had the most to do with it, and it was a point where he could actually do something that he couldn't do, with physical effects at that point.
He could do it within a reasonable budget for this holiday special. Yeah, exactly. Heck, he could have done Splinters of the Mind Eye as a cartoon after Empire, but didn't.
Project Storytime makes an interesting point, which people seem to forget in Star Wars lore, which is that Vader was an outcast with the Imperials. Tarkin openly talked down to him in front of prisoners. Yep. You get a brief snippet of that, obviously, in the first movie. I'm sorry, in episode 4, I guess we're going to call it. But if in the expanded universe, you see that Vader really is exactly what Script's talking about. He pretty much is this person that's out on the side and really not embraced by what we would call the military order.
Well, that goes into like my theory as a kid I had, which is that the whole reason the Empire took over is because there were people kind of were aware of Jedi, but the Empire's propaganda turned Jedi as like a dirty thing and was able to get the galaxy behind exterminating them. But the only one to survive that extermination is Darth Vader because he betrayed them.
Well, that was the reason that the Emperor did the whole thing in episode 3 where he's like, my life was threatened by the Jedi. He was trying to turn everybody against the Jedi.
Yeah, but that came way too late in the story.
Yeah, I agree, thing, but right? Not to tear into that.
And the Jedi were also way more prominent in the galaxy than they ever should have been. Like they should be like monks or like MacGyver. Like he just wanders through town and only the town has a story of like, yeah, MacGyver came in and he solved our problem with a nail, some chewing gum, and an elastic band, and then we have never seen him ever again. But he was awesome. Like that should have been the take of the Jedi to at least give some more believability to Han Solo's interpretation of like, I've never met one, I don't believe them, hokey magic and malarkey is no good compared to a blaster at your side, that type of thing. Like that has to have some credence.
You got a point, because even in
trilogy completely circumvents that.
Well, even in episode 1, the way Anakin acts around Qui-Gon, he even acts like, the Jedis are almost kind of mythical.
A regular thing.
Well, no, he says you have one of those laser swords, only Jedi is supposed to have those or whatever. Like he acts like he's never seen a Jedi before, obviously, but
heard enough about them, yeah.
And Chris Person makes a comment, but Script, creating interesting new towns would cost more money than what Disney seems to be willing to pay for. Hence all these desert planets in the Disney Star Wars.
Oh, aren't they making bank on that $6,000 a weekend Galactic Star Cruiser though?
For a couple months, they will.
For a couple months.
I still don't see how they're justifying that thing. I mean, not that I really want to dig into that bullshit, but
yeah, I hear it. Yeah, it's not justified at all. It's not.
Because I mean, we've all brought up several points, several vacations, several things you could have done, several things that even Disney themselves have done that are just standard attractions that could have been utilized in this sense, and things you could have done that would be more Star Wars-y than this and justify the cost. It's pretty bad when you can sit at home, spend a fraction of that and get yourself a PS4 or PS5 with VR and play the Battlefront Rogue Squadron VR bit and get more out of that and feel like you're actually in a Star Wars world than what you
Right.
get when you go to Disney.
The fact that they don't have a simulation of the Battle of Hoth where you can be in the snow
Exactly.
trenches shooting like at a digital screen with the laser pistol or something, or like in a couple of little pods flying in the speeders and being that interactive, like that would be a freaking awesome thing on a vacation. Not worth
Right.
$6,000, but definitely worth a few $100 as part of an overall package of getting the Star Wars experience.
Well, you're right. Chuck E. Cheese or Showbiz Pizza or whatever because there
Well,
were two
here's
different ones. But
well,
yeah,
here's another
this
one.
does more for the money. But anyway, you're saying, Mike. Sorry.
Here's another one I'll throw out at you guys. Remember I was talking about Spider-Man and I saw it in 4DX theater? Have you guys been in one of those yet?
Not yet. I'd like to.
Okay.
I've been in one of those at like the Disney parks in the 90s because that's where they were kind of invented. But
Okay, yeah. Well, it's the new 4DX ones have 23 sensory things going on. So it's unbelievable. Okay, to see Spider-Man in the 4DX 3D, I'm sorry, it's 3D 4DX was astronomically amazing. Now, I recently also went to Disneyland and went through their new to Star Tours, which in the beginning was one thing. Lately, now it's these different 3D adventures. My point is this: is that whatever I didn't see what they should have at least done with this Galaxy Edge Hotel or Galactic Star Cruiser thing. I'm sorry, is that they should have at least had like some kind of like experience like that where it's I mean, you go into a theater, you get an orientation. Maybe you have two theaters, and maybe one side you're you're on the good guy side, then you're on the bad guy side, and something. I mean, it's just listening to people walk around and talk at me like this and try to suck me into a fake script that sounds lame just as awful. And I'll tell you this much. I watched all the videos from the people that went to that lightsaber shit. Look, whether it's my VR, because I have Vader VR. Have you guys played that yet? The virtual?
No, but I know what it is. Yeah.
It's freaking phenomenal. And if even aside from that, I've had better lightsaber battles. Like, look, me and Paulie had a better lightsaber battle video in his front yard than that piece of shit. And
Well, you just brought up a point that I realized that we've talked about before this thing even opened, that we thought it was going to be, and it wasn't even. It's kind of like reminds me of like, how we give Star Trek Discovery and some of these other things too much credit, and they end up doing worse than we could even imagine. Like, there is no immersion to this. If you watch the play part, there's nothing for the audience to do. There's no play into it. When we first heard about this, we at least assumed there was going to be like an actual LARPing kind of storyline where you would be involved and have to make choices. And, we even talked about how you could function this thing in, culture.
like a murder mystery theater.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that would be
It's like, how are you not even doing that kind of crap?
Oh, that would have been
like,
great script. Give us an example of what could have been done with the Mercy. Like, how would you have done that Star Wars style?
I would have I would have actually just aped a little bit of A New Hope and thrown up a droid comes your way and it plays a message and it just leads you on a bread trail of adventures throughout the entire resort to rescue another character and save the day type of thing. Very on either an R2D2 droid or a protocol droid or a new droid of some type that plays like a holographic projection, which they could do because they can all they have to do is set up a location with a couple of mirrors, throw in a laser grid from the droid where it plays the holographic message, and the audio obviously comes from the droid, and you get to watch and be interactive and be like, hey, yeah, this is your mission for the day or the next 2 days, and it takes you from point A like a scavenger hunt, but then you also interact with actors and other characters that are doing their thing and. Yeah, just see where that goes and have some fun with that. And
there's
maybe, yes, you encounter two Jedi fighting each other. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing is at least you're interactive with it. You're in part of the story. From what we've seen, you're just observing this shit. It's like a dinner theater, only worse. Right. And I'll tell you, it's sad because it's gone now. But in the Dells, Wisconsin Dells, we had Tommy Bartlett's Robot World. And that's kind of what you were just explaining is what that was. You go in and it's like this. You go up this ramp and you go inside and this little R2 unit greets you. And he even says his cousin is R2D2 and all this shit. And he's going through this whole spiel and he's like, I'm going to take you through the ship. And oh my God, there's this stuff goes on and stuff blows up and he guides you through the whole thing. It's almost like a haunted house, but it's sci-fi oriented. So you run into different robots and different sci-fi creatures and things like that. It's all full of animatronics and cool little like like science, little deals that you can do and things like that. And it was really kind of cool for what it was. And it's like 20 some bucks at that time. They did a hell of a lot more with that, a lot more with the electronics and all the cool shit than anything I see here. And you're right, Script. It wouldn't take shit for them to set it up. And you can send it through with groups of like 5 or 6 at a time. And you have it, like you just said, an R2 unit pulls you in, then you have the actors kind of pull you into the story, and you're, like you just have like, say, a rebel trooper go, here, take this. These are the plans that you need to get to so-and-so. And you're the only one who can do it. And then they end up getting shot or something like that. So like, the group is the one who's got to get it there. That's all you got to do. It's not that hard to do. And it immerses you in the story. And
I mean,
and
it's tricky to organize, but like expense-wise, it's actually quite
exactly.
simple.
It's not as difficult as you'd really think.
And Andy Masterson makes the comment, says, Script Doctor, I had said something similar, a scavenger hunt / escape room.
Oh yeah, Star Wars Escape Room would be great. Again,
Right.
you have to think about family interaction and things to occupy their time, so that they actually have stories to say, when they go back to their neighborhood, right? They're like saying, yeah, like we got into the escape room, we went onto this ship. I mean, that one video, they have the lightsaber fight, and they have 2 lightsabers hit the railing, and the railing, they don't even have the effects to make the railing break and spark off. And I'm like, they could do that in like Indiana Jones theater show and all these other things that I've seen at like Universal and Epcot and all that type of stuff. It's all, the technology's there, and it's really simple, but like they don't even bother.
Yeah. Brightest Day asked the question of the year, which is that how can they not be this creative, guys?
Well, who's to say that there isn't a team that is this creative, but those ideas are being shot down because someone might be saying, "Oh, we don't want to do that," or it seems too expected, or it's maybe going to cost too much based on what we have to charge in order to break even, or something of that nature.
Which that I can't even buy. And that's my point, is like when Tommy Bartlett's Robot World, which is a sideshow kind of thing, could do something better than this, and it's just, yeah.
Mr. Dragon brings a point. Think of how much Star Wars Weekend was better than what we're getting now. I mean, even this from 2009 to 2015.
Yeah, even if you go, how much is it to go to like those band camp weekend things? It ain't even this much, but yet you get like lessons and to hang out with actual musicians and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, I got to decide what, I had tickets to the last Star Wars celebration, and they've rolled them forward. Supposedly, I haven't looked on the internet at all. I haven't checked, but supposedly they moved it up from August to the end of May, and I haven't heard. Let me go look right now. Wonder if they're even going to do Star Wars Celebration.
Well, okay, let's not do the LARPing thing. Okay, let's go from the angle I just said. You got 2 days. You're paying $6,000 for a family of 4. The least they could do is get, a couple of actors from the movies. You can rotate them out. It doesn't have to be the same ones every time. But, there's things like that you can do, and have other things there that really kind of add to the experience. Like, it doesn't feel like you're getting anything. We even brought up last night, like the ladies were talking about, like how you could have, like, basically, since Apple and Disney are in cahoots with each other, they could have made a special iPod just for this. And that's one of the things you get to take home. And considering you're spending $6,000, it wouldn't cost shit for Apple to produce a Star Wars looking iPod. And that iPod you could have used it for that bingo game and made it infinitely more interesting, and some of the other shit that's going on there. Like, there's just little things they didn't even do. And you should get like a lightsaber and all kinds of other shit to take with you when you go home for $6,000. Like, I don't see anything about this that seems like it's incentive for me to want to spend that kind of money to go hang out for 2 days. Like, it just makes me want to get the fuck out of it from what it looks like. I would want to go away from it and get out of there. It makes me claustrophobic.
Current ticket holders, which is me, that wish to keep their existing tickets will have their order automatically transferred to the new dates. May 26th through 29th. That's February, March, April, May. That's in 3 months from now. I haven't gotten any email.
Okay, so you had tickets for May, and they're moving it to August.
No, I had tickets. I had tickets already from before.
From August to May. Okay.
Yeah, well, I had tickets from when they canceled. So then they told me I had that I could use them for August 18th through 21st this year, because they didn't have Celebration last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the last event that they were supposed to have that didn't happen, that then became August 18th through 21st. I have tickets for that. Now they're saying they're going to do it May 26th through 29th, but there's no agenda. There's no nothing. Like,
Yeah, that's
and
not very far off. That's what you're saying. Okay, I
what
get
I'm
what you're
saying is
saying
this is
now,
90
yeah.
days away. February, March, April, May. This is like in 90 days.
What are
right?
they even going to have to celebrate? Obi-Wan
That's
will
what I'm
be
trying
out
to.
by then.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
They ain't started on Mando season 3 yet, have they?
I think they wrap in a few weeks.
Oh, okay. So maybe they'll have something for that, but we know they haven't done shit for Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron I think is pretty much on the shelf temporarily right now, or a back
It's
burner.
still on the docket, but I think it's whatever's going on with it for now. Who knows? But
When will more details about Celebration become available? More information on how to get it to ensure for be sure. I'm already on the newsletter.
Basically,
Okay.
the day before. That's when you're gonna find out.
how the hell did I
Oh,
wind up here this morning? We ended up talking about Star Wars for a fucking hour.
that's a good question.
Yeah, it's not very taco-y, is it?
No. The more important point is that script before you got here. We were talking to Tom was talking about how Star Wars is the last thing he ever wants to talk about. Yeah, somehow. But you know what, Tom? You love me, and that's what I was talking about, unless we talked about it.
Hey, we got the legendary Tron in the chat. How you
What?
doing?
No, we
Cool.
don't. Did we really? Hey,
Yeah, we
yo,
do.
what's up? Hail, legendary Tron. What is up? What is up?
We got a lot of people today.
Nick
So
says
glad to
you-
see all the support today. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Yeah, guys, we've had like between 45 and 50 some odd people in here, 52 people. I would love to hang out with my friends who are going. Well, I'm going 6. I'll meet you out there. I'll be in Anaheim, whether it's at the end of May or.
I think she was talking about the Star Wars cruise thing, but yeah, I'd
Oh.
rather go to Celebration, yeah, just to hang out with people.
Yeah.
What are they going to present to us?
Platitudes.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see.
A bunch
I
of
know it's not gonna be
ceremonies.
my take on a Star Wars show, that's for sure.
Well, we're not even in an anniversary of anything, are we? Oh, Attack of the Clones, I think, right?
I don't think they should do this thing in May. I think people are gonna. I don't.
Well, they want to do it after Star Wars Day, right? May 25th.
Yeah.
I think it's that week. It's right around that weekend there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But to them, they owe the 4th. It's May the 4th be with you. That's Star Wars Day now.
Yeah. So I
They
don't know what.
get that. No,
I'm really
May
curious.
the 4th is the Force Day, and then Star Wars Day is May 25th, right?
I don't know. It's the way fans have always looked at it, but
Yeah. We want to thank our new subscribers, our new members that we got this morning. Agent Atwood, Chef Nation, and want to take a time to thank you for Captain Trek, who just sent us a super chat. And Captain Trek says, oh, hold on, let me scream. Oh, God, this thing needs to move faster. I agree with 6. Where is the Taco Planet? Tom, what kind of story could we do with Script Doctor if we involved a Taco Planet?
Is it
In
a
Star
hard shell or
Wars?
soft shell surface?
That's a good question. Would it be a hard or soft?
corn or flour?
I think the more northern you go, it's corny, and then the more center by the equator, it's flour, and then the South Pole is also corny.
Well, whatever tacos we have, we would need Mark the Infinitely Tired, who is one of the wrenches and mods in the morning, and we have a special Skull video where he is having a Fanta, which is always great with tacos.
I love Joe and the volcano.
Wasn't that the best?
It was better than it should have been.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? It was so good. It was so good. Well, with that, we're already at the 1 hour mark, and we like to keep these shows to an hour. So with that, we're going to tell everybody, thank you for joining us this morning. My deepest gratitude and thanks go to Script Doctor for coming in. Thank you, Tom Connors of Tom Connors International Broadcasting Global Intergalactic Network. You see how I keep getting it bigger and bigger and bigger, Tom?
People are going to start thinking I'm compensating for something, but sure.
No, I don't think so. But thank you guys both. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you, everyone who's watching the replay. And thank you so much to Loki, who hopefully will get his internet back and we'll be back online with the show tonight, tomorrow, and the rest of the week. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And as Loki would say, be nice, speak for to enter, and have a great, fantastic day. Goodbye, everyone.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.